everyone, welcome back. As promised, I'm going to attempt to shoot a Ukrainian video similar to my French one that I uploaded earlier today. By the way, I added subtitles to the French one, so there is now an English translation of all the French that I'm saying. I also realized as I was adding the subtitles that I completely forgot to use the past tense in the French video, so that was completely my mistake. Yeah, so as I mentioned in that video, my Ukrainian vocabulary isn't as robust as my French one. I find that I have to work a lot harder to even get words to stick in my head, and it's just all the way along it's been much harder than dealing with French. So I'm going to struggle a lot. I apologize in advance for the ums and ands and silences. Again, I'll try to minimize silences when I'm trying to think of a word. I also apologize. I have a very basic understanding of some of the Ukrainian grammar, so I'm probably going to get a lot of the tenses wrong. Yeah, so with all those disclaimers out of the way, let's go! Привіт! Мене звати Шана. Я вчу українська мова since червень. Я хочу вчу українська мова, тому що мій тато speaks, говорю. Він говорав українська мова, коли він дітей, дитина, він не говорив англійська мова until школа. Мій дідусь, він from Ukrainska. Same with two of my uncles. Тому що мій тато говорив українська мова, я хочу вчу мова, тому що я мала someone to talk to. Like French, я вчу українська мова, тому що COVID. Я читаю 100 easy Ukrainian texts. Це дуже мало texts. They're very little. I have to work a lot harder, even reading them to like understand them. I have to go over them multiple times. Whereas like with the French, I have a pretty good gist of it going over, you know, those stories in the short stories for French for beginners. It's a very different thing to be reading in French versus Ukrainian. But I'm impressed with how quickly I was able to be able to read. I might not understand the words that I'm reading, but like I can sound them out very well, much faster than I was able to before. Considering it's a completely different alphabet, yeah, like within, I'd say 3 months. It still takes a little bit of effort, but like I can read it fairly quickly, so that's really cool. Я живу with Mikit Merlin. Merlin say Veliki Siri Keat. He's a big gray cat. He's still over there, sitting actually exactly where he was before when I was doing the French video earlier. I don't know what else I can say. Я дивитася українське кіно, but it's hard to find Ukrainian movies. The library only had 3, and I have seen them all. Like French, I need to watch them with English subtitles, but it's much more important in Ukrainian because I find I can't process very well what's being said. I'm learning with somebody on italki, and she'll say things to me, and I'm like, I don't know what you just said, but then she'll type it, and it's like, oh, I knew pretty much all those words, but yeah, I ask that anybody who wants to speak with me, говорю дуже повільно, не швидко, не швидко. Yeah. That's pretty much all I can think of off the top of my head right now. As I said, I've been working on Ukrainian since I think earlier in June. I started using transparent language, which gave kind of a quick start, and then I moved to Duolingo just before starting French, actually. I found Duolingo was a lot more helpful than Transparent Language, specifically with Ukrainian, because Transparent just gave you words by themselves, whereas Duolingo is putting the words into context in sentences. So for a language that is very, very different from English, that was a lot more helpful. Yeah, I think transparent is going to be really good for later when I'm feeling a little more confident and needing even more help learning new words. I find Ukrainian, it's just much more difficult, especially here in Canada. Like French is kind of everywhere. You know, you figure boxes usually have the English and the French on them, whereas the Ukrainian, it's not like that at all. Yeah, so that was my little attempt at speaking Ukrainian. I honestly don't speak a whole ton of it just because I'm not feeling very confident with it, and I really need to push that for myself as well. But I think that'll come in time, especially as I do learn more words and just more pieces to connect the language together. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. I will probably be doing more updates just periodically with both languages. And yeah, stay tuned if you're interested in seeing how I'm doing in a couple months.